So this is a recipe out of the book. It's called chicken Sevilla. It's spelled Seville, but when you're in southern Spain, where I got this recipe from, a very nice old lady gave it to me. It's pronounced Sevilla, the double L's. Anyways, it's got some chicken. It's got a little bit of spicy sausage, some red peppers, a little bit of fresh thyme, fresh parsley, shallots, garlic, a little bit of tomatoes, and I'm going to pair that up with really nice wild rice that I've already got on the stove right now. Okay, so we'll start right away here. I think we'll take on our peppers first. So we're just going to give this like a julienne style cut, where we're just going to make them nice long slivers like this. All right, so we've got some red peppers, and you can feel free to substitute, red, yellow, orange peppers, whatever you guys like. I'm a big fan of the red. I find it's the sweetest of the variety. The green one is basically just an unripened red one. Okay, so I've got some little Tupperwares here. And if you've ever noticed on cooking shows as well, they often have everything kind of prepped up ahead of time. I love doing that, so that when you go to turn your pan on your stove, you have everything ready to go. You just pour this and pour this and pour that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to get everything into this and save my time. Get our peppers in there, and then we'll add our thyme, our shallots, our garlic. We'll cut up our sausage, and then we'll hit the pan. So this is flat leaf parsley, and just for an extra bit of flavor, a lot of people will just cut off the stalks and throw them away. I cut them off and throw them in, and then I garnish with the tops a little bit later. So you still get all that nice flavor. You don't have to waste any of your food, and it goes to a good place. Adds a very nice depth of flavor to the dish. So this is a little bit of thyme, fresh thyme, and I'm just going to chop that up and get it in here too. You can pull it all off the stalks if you've got the finger power and things like that. My fingers don't work that good, so a little bit of tree branches in there isn't going to hurt anybody anyway. And in my little garden at home, I grow all my own herbs too. So thyme, tarragon, oregano, basil, rosemary, lemon balm, chives, garlic, sweet onion, goodness, yeah. And it's so nice because you're in the kitchen and you go outside maybe with your coffee and you look around and you see how beautiful the flowers are in the basil. And all of a sudden you get an idea, and those cherry tomatoes are good too. Oh, and then you start putting those two things together, and you go into the kitchen and you start making something brand new that was, something you weren't even thinking about before you even started that day, but the smells and all the beauty of the garden kind of speaks for itself. Often when I go shopping at the grocery store, I have no idea what I'm going to buy. I see so many people with their lists, and granted, you need some things at home. Don't forget toilet paper, I get that. But when I go shopping, I get inspired by what's fresh and what I see in front of me, and what the butcher's got for me that day. I work very closely with my local community as far as the farming industry goes. We have a wonderful group of guys with organic farming right on Vancouver Island, and I'm sure there's quite a few of them here too as well. It's such a nice opportunity. The flavor is just incredible. It occasionally does cost a bit more, but you really, really do get what you pay for. That little bit more really comes through. Okay, so these are shallots. I don't know if anybody uses these a lot. I don't care for onions for whatever reason. I just don't really like them. So I use shallots. And shallots are basically a sweet version of a cross between an onion and garlic. So I've got some shallots here, and we're just going to give those a little slice. And get those in our mix here too. And things like garlic, those small little chilies and things, a little bit tricky to cut. All you have to do is just take your time, be careful, watch where your blade is, make sure it's sharp, and hopefully you won't have any incident. So this is a specialty sausage. It's made by Frybee, and I get it at Thrifty Foods. It's got chicken, habanero, and tequila in it. And it's got a wonderful, full, rounded flavor. And what I like to do is just cut them in half across the center, and then cut them half along the long length, and then I cut them in half again. So essentially quartering them. But by doing it in small sections like this, they're a lot easier to handle. You're not trying to run your knife down the entire length of the sausage. They can roll sometimes, and you can end up with a cut. So I just quarter them out like that, and then I'll just put them into little pieces. This is going to go right in the pan with our chicken and our shallots and garlic. Okay, so we're gonna zoom over here to the back of the house, and if you guys need to move around, feel free so you're able to see me. I'm gonna be over here at this pan. Now I wish I'd brought some palm oil or some coconut oil. I wasn't quite as educated when I got here as I am now. So instead of adding any oil to the pan this time, I'm gonna add in the shallots and the sausage, and we'll render out just a little bit of the fat that's in the sausage so that the chicken can get in there and it hopefully won't stick too much. There we go. All right, got the kids in the pool. All right, so we'll bring the heat up on that, I hope. Okay, so we've got our sausage in there, a little bit of shallots and our garlic. What we want to do is just kind of render that down a little bit. As I say, we'll get some of the fat out of the sausage, but we'll also get the shallots and the garlic so they're just a little bit translucent. So it takes about 2 or 3 minutes sort of thing on a medium-high heat. And then once we get that in there, we'll add our chicken, and we're going to cook that until it's opaque, which means white, or it's not that clear kind of translucent color. Takes about 10 minutes for that. So this is an amazing product, and I'm going to just show you guys this right now. You press the button for a couple of seconds and you let it go. That'll take the whole top off, including the rim, no sharp edge, and it does it all by itself, and it stops all by itself. There's one just like this for jars as well. So if you ever have trouble with your grip strength opening up a jar or something like that, they make the same thing for that as well. So we're just going to turn that chicken up a little bit. We'll get it kind of opaque. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes before it starts to get to that point. We're going to add in our spices. The spices I'm using in this dish today are fennel, marjoram, a little bit of fresh parsley, and some fresh thyme. And the combination of those with the spicy sausage and the chicken and a can of tomatoes with a little bit of black pepper and Himalayan salt and our wild rice, it makes an absolutely fantastic dish. Power tools. I don't know if many of you share the same sort of concerns I have. Occasionally I'm extremely spastic and I fly all over the place and all kinds of stuff happens. It can be a bit daunting when you're in a kitchen, you have something hot or something sharp and you have a large spasm. Just have to kind of take them in stride, don't let them defeat you. They're gonna happen, and the best you can do is just kind of keep going. You know, there's certain days for me, for whatever reason. Last night was one of them, just jump, crazy, legs going all over the place. But as long as you just kind of keep yourself safe and just keep your smile on, keep going, it won't bother you. All right, so we're adding in our peppers, our thyme, and our parsley. And that's the finish. And I like my peppers to stay a little bit al dente, so they still have a little bit of a crunch to them. They're not all kind of soggy. So often people will tell me, you know, oh, asparagus, I hate asparagus. But that's because mom cooked it and it would strain through a fork, you know, and it's not crispy and it's not delicious anymore. So often it's just about how things are prepared and how they're cooked, not so much the actual food. All right. So we're going to give that about 10 minutes and let that kind of come together. A lot of flavors and spices and things do need a little bit of time to kind of meld and marry and come together and really enjoy each other. So let's throw the lid back on. Does anybody like to try this chicken Sevilla? Okay.